Hello everybody, how you doing? This is Lord PeteyTV here to bring you another week of our Mythic Plus dungeons, what to do about them, kind of something so you can kind of have it in the back of your mind when you're going to these new dungeons. Once again, make sure you hit that subscribe button here, or go to Twitch and make sure you hit that follow button there to see when we go live. This is our first week back from PAX, so I am extremely pumped and ready to produce so much content that'll make everybody super excited. And the first one I'm doing is for you all, so just remember to kind of go through these dungeons. Anyway, so the affixes for this week. So the affixes for Mythic Pluses this week are Tyrannical, Sanguine, Explosive, Thundering. Okay, so let's take a moment and think about these. Tyrannical, Sanguine, Explosive, Thundering. Okay, so all right, let's take a little second to think about it. So when it comes to this grouping of affixes, your tanks are going to be moving around and working a lot more than normal, because, you know, with those tyrannical affixes, you know, they're going to have to deal with those bosses being, you know, of higher damage. You're going to have to use more cooldowns there. Where it comes down to your sanguine, they're going to be consistently moving and having to deal with that, which is going to get very, very, very annoying. And then explosives, typically tanks tend to help out the healers when it comes to explosives. So with that combination, it's going to be a little bit harder for tanks to have to deal with this week. I'm sorry, just so you know, I love you, tanks. I'm sorry that you're going to have to deal with that. As for your melee DPS, make sure you help with the explosives if the healers and the tanks need help, because they mostly are going to, you know, typically spawn randomly, but a lot of the times are going to be close to the melee. And be sure you're stepping to the side, because that sanguine getting dropped, you don't want to be standing in it to cause your healer more problems. So this is kind of not too bad of a week, other than the tyrannical affix. So be careful of that. Oh my god, I totally forgot we're gonna have to do the rundown of what the affixes do. I'll talk about that after this. Range DPS, just keep an eye on helping explosives. Make sure you're helping push stuff out of sanguine. DPS, you know, as hard as you can throughout the whole entire time. Make sure you're not taking extra damage, so your healers don't have to deal with that, and you're good there. As for your so then after that is your healers. Your healers are going to be dealing with a lot of annoying things. You know, the best healer in the game is back this week. You know, Sanguine. You know, we want him for their mythic raid team, so because he's such a good healer. Now, just take a moment, think about it. Healers are going to have to deal with extra damage on tanks during bosses. Sanguine is going to get really, really annoying because people are always going to dip their feet in it, so be careful of that. Explosive, if you get hit, if explosives go off, that which is typically the healer's, you know, affix to deal with, it's going to be very, very hard for them. So just be careful and keep your eyes open for that. And obviously, thundering, as always, is kind of just annoying. So just something to think of. Now, like always, just a quick rundown of your dungeons, your affixes. I'm sorry. You got your tyrannical, bosses deal more damage, your sanguine, which means non-boss enemies drop the pool of sanguine on the floor, so you gotta be careful of that. And then you have your explosives, so the orbs pop up by you, you gotta make sure you kill them. If not, people take a lot of damage. And then your thundering, enemies take more, they have more health, and you get the buff you have to deal with, which might cause you to get stunned. So it's not too bad, too crazy. It's just something to kind of like think of when you're kind of going through it all. And then finally, just a quick rundown of your dungeons. Agathar Academy with the tyrannical is usually pretty annoying to deal with, unless you have really, really high DPS to push through the bird boss, in addition to the tree boss, because those guys are going to be doing a lot more damage than normal that week. You know, you got your Court of Stars, which is not too bad, because those bosses aren't really difficult to deal with. I'm just trying to think in my head. First boss, just gotta make sure you do your jumps right, and the pulls there aren't too bad because they're not too big. So yeah, that place should be pretty easy to go with. Halls of Valor is going to be annoying this week. All the bosses there do so much damage already, and they're just going to be putting more on top of that because tyrannical. So that's going to be a problem. There's not much room to maneuver your sanguine pools, to be careful of that there. Ruby Life pools. Um, Obviously the second boss, which got nerfed, which I want to play around with him, which I'm kind of excited to see. But other than that, they're all going to be doing not too bad damage there. Shadow and Burial Grounds, there's a lot of larger packs, but not a lot of movability places, so your Sanguine's going to get annoying there. Um, Actually, Ruby Life Pools in the beginning it's problematic with Sanguine. Actually, the whole place, you don't have much room. Temple of the Jade Serpent, you're gonna have to deal with that last boss being annoying, and then the boss, the flying one's gonna be annoying. The first one's just gonna be problematic because people don't know how to get out of the spout. So you gotta be very, very careful of that. And there's really like nowhere to run around to. So you gotta be careful of that because of the sanguine puddles. Azure Vault, if you do the skip, don't have much movability space, but it shouldn't be bad. The part is probably part of that whole dungeon is going to be the last boss, I feel. And the boss before, I mean, the second boss, because the second boss, he's going to end up, you're going to have to do a lot of damage to those external adds, and the ticking on the healer is going to be annoying, so you might want to have to stay together grouped up there. So be careful of that. New code offensive. You got to be careful of the last boss and the tornado boss because they just really do a lot of damage. Sanguine is not really a big deal. You got a lot of space for that. And like the reason why I'm not talking about specifically explosive is because everyone's gonna have to deal with the explosive. Well, not everyone, but like the healer's gonna have to deal with the explosives, but they're not that bad because I feel like the pulls, if you're doing things correctly in 20s, then you're not gonna have these problematic pulls of dealing with your explosives. So just something that I'm kind of got in the back of my head and kind of thinking about. So but all in all, I don't think it's going to be a crazy hard week, but it's still going to be, hard enough for people to have to deal with. So just know that. So anyway, thank you all for hanging out today. I appreciate it. I love you all. Once again, hit that subscribe button here. Hit that subscribe or follow button on Twitch. It's Show How Your Sports channel. I love you all. Dream big, keep gaming, and every single week. This is week 15. For our our affixes, and you're gonna see a lot more stuff coming up on YouTube. I'm gonna be trying to push more stuff out, and stuff that's not gonna be 100% wow. It's gonna be other stuff too. So keep an eye on it. All right, I love you all. Dream big, keep gaming. Have a fantastic week. Good luck on your vaults, and I will see you all next week. Bye, everybody.